Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Mentorship Corner. My name is Sibiano Mtandazo. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Today we are going to be talking about failure. What is failure? The emotions that arise when we fail in life, I know. And then we're just going to discuss a few things that have worked for me in the past with regards to failure, and basically what happens once you failed. What do? Do you sit down below, or do you dust yourself up and start climbing that ladder again? So first things first, let's define what it means to fail. Let's define what failure means, like in simple terms, in plain English. So in plain English, failure means lack of success. So it means I'm going to give you guys an example. So it means I was trying to bake chocolate cake, but I forgot to put baking powder. So when I put everything in the oven, everything baked really well, but the dough didn't rise. Why didn't the dough rise? It's because I did not put baking powder. So that means I have failed to produce, or I have failed to bake a proper chocolate cake. So that's literally that's a simple example which explains what failure is. It means you had a plan in place, you had a destination you wanted to reach, but you do not reach that destination at your desired time, or whatever the case could be. But the bottom line is, because you failed, you did not reach your desired destination, which means you have now failed and not succeeded. So basically, if I had succeeded, I would have baked a proper chocolate cake. I would have remembered to put the baking powder in there, and my cake was gonna rise and be nice and soft and moist and fluffy. Ne? So that's like my example of failure. Okay, so now that we've defined what failure is, and I've given you guys an example, so you'll have an idea of exactly what we're talking about today. So the next part I'm going to be discussing is the fact that when you fail at something, it brings about a lot of emotions in you as a person. So the first thing that happens when you fail at something, you become really irritated. So you become angry with yourself, or angry with whatever it is that you were trying to sort out, and then you become really sad. So it saddens you that you couldn't achieve whatever it is that you wanted to achieve. You become disappointed, you become stressed out, and some people even fall into a minor acute depression, which means you land up sitting down there in the corner and you're just thinking, what did I do to deserve this on this earth? Why me? You know, that's the main question that people ask, like, why me? Why am I failing? Why everything I touch doesn't come right? Why am I going through this process in my life? Bottom line is, I can't explain to you why you're going through this, but what I can tell you is that when you fail, it's because there's something that you were doing wrong that you need to go back and check and fix in order for you to then get it right, in order for you to then succeed at it. So failure is part of life. It's the process. It's how it goes, guys. We can't run away from it, but we can be prepared for it, which is basically the aim of this video. So the one phrase that I've written out for this video says, failing is not the end of the world. Remember, even the world's most famous scientists failed more than 1,000 times in order to get it right the first time. So what makes you an exception? That's the question that we should be asking ourselves today. So fine, you failed, but what makes you more important than anyone else in the world? We are all important. We are all unique. So we are all going to fail, but the main thing is, how do you respond to your failure? So, like one of my mentors always says, in life, 99% of the time, no, not 90, is it 99%? So she always says, I think I could be getting the percentages wrong, guys, but she always says, I think 90% of the things that are happening around us are things that we can't control. No, it's circumstances. No, it's the 10%. So 10% of the time, it's the circumstances that we're in, but 90% of the time, it's how we respond to everything. So it's the same thing with failure. You will fail at something, but it doesn't matter whether you fail or not. What matters is that how are you responding to the failure, and what are you doing, or what are you planning to do differently next time when you try it in order for you to succeed. That's basically it. Sorry about the percentages there. Yeah, guys, it's, maths is not for everyone. So basically what I want to share with you guys is that you need to basically try and learn lessons from every mistake that you make. Try and learn lessons from every failure that you come across in life. The reason for this is, I believe, and so is a higher percentage of people who are very successful in this world, believe that when you fail, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. When you fail, it doesn't mean it's not possible. It just means the way you're doing it is not the way to go about doing it. You need to change the way you do it in order for you to succeed. So our famous speaker, Mr. Vusi Tembawayo, always says when you fail, you must make sure that you fail forward. So fine, let's make an example where you are starting out a business. You want to sell, let's say, sneakers to people who are in university. So you try to go and advertise your sneakers, but you only sell like one instead of the 10 that you had prepared for. That doesn't mean now you need to give up, does it? Like, if you think about it, if you're gonna give up now, you haven't tried again, so you're just gonna walk away just like that just because it didn't work. No, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go back the following day. You're gonna try using the same strategy you used on day one. If that still doesn't work, you're gonna go back home, you're gonna sit on your drawing board, and you're gonna brainstorm ideas to up your advertising in order for people to actually start buying more. Which means instead of sitting down curling at the back and saying this is not gonna work, this is never gonna work, I wasn't meant for selling, this thing is not for me, this thing, instead of saying the world is against me, you need to say the world is for me, and this is meant for me. It's just this time around I didn't get it right because I did 1, 2, and 3. So now I need to do 4, 5, and 6 in order for it to change. So I learned this the hard way. Yo guys, I learned this like the hard way. So I'm going to tell you a short story about what happened, why I'm an optometrist today. Some of you may be wondering. So optometry was not my first choice. It wasn't my second choice. It wasn't even my third choice. I think it was like the second last choice or the last choice in my CIO application. So what happened was, I applied. I loved engineering. I loved electrical. So when I was in school, my favorite subjects were electrical technology, technical drawing, and English. Those are my 3 favorite subjects. So what happened is, when I was in grade 11, I applied because I was that student, so I applied early. So I applied for university. I applied for architecture. I applied for electrical engineering, heavy current. I applied for electrical engineering, low current, which is being an electrician, and then I applied for, what else did I apply for? I can't remember the rest, but I had like a whole list of things that I applied for, which were, none of them were health science, and then I only had one health science, and that was optometry. And guys, trust me, when I applied, the only reason why I applied for optometry was mainly because when I went to an optometrist when I was in high school, I really loved their equipment, and I loved how the equipment worked, because I asked the guy how the equipment works and everything. I was that curious kid, so he explained to me how everything works, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. If I were to get like a degree in health science, maybe, just maybe, this could be the thing I would, go for. So grand sharp, girl applies, and then I applied for chemical engineering as well. That I applied for ADUT. The rest was AUKZN. So come later, I think like June, July, matric, I get a letter on the post, and it's actually from DUT, and they're telling me, Uguti, I have a conditional offer for chemical engineering. Guys, I was like, God has answered my prayers. I was so happy. I was so happy. I was like super excited. I was ready to take over the world. I studied, I pushed my studies, I was ready. Come Jan, up my results, I got good results, got my key, and girl is sitting and waiting for SMSs. My friends are like texting and telling me, guys, start here when in. I'm like, yeah, but then like nothing came through until I got an SMS from UKZN telling me Uguti I was taken for optometry. At that day when I got that SMS, my life changed. I realized that not everything happens the way you want to. I had to decide between, so I went to DUT with my parents. I showed them my letter and they were like, you know what, we're sorry, but it's just a conditional offer, we can't do anything about it, you have to apply again. So I was like, okay, cool. I sat in the line, I applied. After the application, bear in mind, I did not tell my parents ukuthi I had an offer from UKZN, but when I saw it was okay, if I do get sure, I might not get a space. I cannot afford to stay home for an entire year just because I was too proud to accept something that I did not really like want when I was still in high school. So I had to like psych myself up and be like, okay, fine guys, let's take it off as UKZN. Lucky my dad knew his way around Durban, so we drove to Westville. I got there, everything was super smooth, like guys, it was like super smooth to the core. We got there, I showed them the SMS, they told me what I need to do, we did that, process registration, everything done, sorted. When I went home, I had a student card, a student number, and then the only thing that was left was for me to just sort out the accommodation, but they also gave me a day to come back and sort out my accommodation and stuff. When I got home, I spent, I could be wrong, I can't really remember, but I think I spent about 2 to 3 weeks crying at home because I felt like God turned his back on me. I felt like the universe just closed its doors. I felt like I was at the bottom and I didn't know how to get up, you know. So I spent 3 weeks crying. I couldn't eat, I didn't want to see anyone, I didn't want to talk to anyone. I just didn't want anything. So I spent that entire time crying in my bedroom, not going out. I didn't even want to see the sun, guys. That's how bad it was. I didn't want to do anything because I felt like I had failed myself because I couldn't give me enough, I don't know, grit, or enough, I don't know, opportunity, or enough, I felt like I didn't study enough to deserve to be an engineering student. I felt like I didn't push enough when I was in matric to get to where I wanted to go. But bottom line is, sometimes when you fail, it's because you're in the wrong direction and the universe is just trying to steer you towards the right direction. So after that, I had to then psych myself up again. So I had to tell myself that, okay, fine, I am going to do optometry. If for the first year I do optometry doesn't work out, then maybe I might change. So I was like, okay, fine. I started packing for university. I packed and then I left, did my orientation, what, started attending. I was bored as if, because we were still doing like first year stuff, which is mainly like a revision from high school. So you'll do like bio, physics, maths, chem, and all the drama. So when the year ended, I thought to myself, do I really want to stay in this degree or do I want to change? But then I realized, look, I don't come from a well-off family. Like, okay, we like comfortable, we okay, you know. But when we're not well off to a point where I could just like jump between degrees, lose years, whereas they could potentially need me when I start working. So what I decided to do was, you know what, girl, just stick it through, get your degree, because I had funding, I had a bursary. So I was like, get your degree, sort yourself out, and then once you start working as an optometrist and you still don't really like it, then at least by then you would have your own money, so you won't have to stress your family, you won't have to stress your parents, you would have your own money, then you can actually afford to take yourself to school. So that's like, I felt like that was my biggest failure in life, because I just felt like I felt like the doors to the world were just like closing in me. I felt like the walls were closing in, and I just felt like I hit rock bottom and I didn't know how to get up. But guess what? I studied optometry, nailed it, I enjoyed it, and right now I am working as an optometrist and I absolutely love my job, guys. I love optometry. I love seeing my patients. It's like the best part of my day. I won't lie, I'm not even lying. I'm not doing this for YouTube. I love seeing my patients. It's like the best part. The one thing I love the most about my patients is that it's like you get to live different lives. Well, like in one day I get to live like 10 lives if I see 10 patients in one day, because they allow you into their space. they allow you into their brains, basically their thought processes and all that. And it's just, for me, it's interesting because I love people and love working with people, so it just went like in line with my purpose. So what I'm trying to teach you guys today is that, you know what, if you fail, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. If you fail, it doesn't mean that now you need to die or whatever. It just means whatever you were doing, you were not doing it the right way, and the universe is just trying to give you that push that you need in order to see that you need to adjust 1, 2 and 3 in order for you to achieve 4, 5 and 6. I hope I'm making sense. So the message from today's video is, when you fail, fail forward. I remember when I filmed my first YouTube video. Guys, I think I filmed, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm telling you this. I think I filmed like over 10 videos, and I filmed videos for like 3 days, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm not doing this because these videos are horrible. I had to try and build my confidence, and if you guys have followed me from the beginning, you can tell that now I'm a bit more confident speaking in front of the camera, even though it's just me and the camera in the room. But I'm a bit more confident compared to when I started off, because obviously I didn't know nothing about speaking. Like, I love speaking, I did a lot of public speaking in high school, but it's not the same as teaching people stuff on YouTube. It's not the same. This is more like serious, this is more intense, and obviously I have to be very intentional about what I say on my channel, because that reflects on my name and it reflects on my brand. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is, you know what, it's okay to fail, okay? That's the first thing we need to get in our brains. It's okay to fail, because that teaches you lessons, life lessons that you need in order for you to grow better, in order for you to be better, in order for you to be a better version of yourself. Ne? You can punch me if you want to, but it's the truth. You know it. It is okay to fail, but when you do fail, fail forward. So when you fail, don't take a step, don't take 10 steps back. Take 1 step back and prepare to take 10 steps forward. Ne? And I say this, I said this as well on his channel. I love that guy, I follow him, so I respect him. I really respect, like, I respect that guy a lot. So what I'm going to say today again is, if you fail, fail forward. So take a step back, but prepare to take 10 steps forward, because failure doesn't mean it's the end, doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means the way you are approaching it is not the right way. You need to find another way. Ne? I love you guys. I'm not shouting at y'all. I love you guys a lot. Stay happy and stay winning, and of course don't forget to like, share and subscribe. If you have a failure story that you want to share on my comment section, you are more than welcome to do that. I'll comment, obviously, because I love you, and I'm sure some of my subscribers will also comment as well. I love you guys a lot. It's goodbye from me and the Mentorship Corner.